What if the world woke up tomorrow to closed seas? A question that experts no longer consider merely a theoretical scenario. It is a military reality that Tehran is shaping today on navigation maps.
Iran has shut the Strait of Hormuz.
By squeezing the Strait of Hormuz, by blocking it off.
Many countries hoping the U.S. can reopen the nearby Strait of Hormuz, that vital passageway for oil. Senior foreign correspondent Imtiaz Tayyab is there.
Imagine that more than 20% of the world's oil, approximately 12% of international trade. She became trapped between the jaws of a maritime vice stretching for thousands of miles. From the Strait of Hormuz in the Gulf to the east, passing through the Gulf of Oman and reaching the Bab el-Mandeb in the Red Sea. The battle is no longer limited to showing strength in the air. Instead, it moved on to controlling the arteries that the economy breathes through a well-planned strategy managed by the Revolutionary Guard and its allies in Yemen. Here, a strategic question strongly presents itself. If Iran and its allies fully implement this naval pincer movement, so what alternatives are available to save the region's economies? In this video, we open the file on the Straits War. We reveal with numbers how Tehran is encircling the Arab coastline. And it begins with the most important geographical point in the international energy equation. It is the Strait of Hormuz, connecting the waters of the Gulf to the Gulf of Oman and the Arabian Sea. According to data from the U.S. Energy Information Administration, about 20% of global consumption passes through this waterway, approximately 21 million barrels per day. Alongside massive quantities of liquefied natural gas, this strait is no more than 21 miles wide. It lies at the center of an unprecedented global conflict. Tehran has used its strategic geographic position as a political leverage point to establish a deterrence equation against Washington and Tel Aviv. In a serious escalation, the new Iranian Supreme Leader, Mojtaba Khamenei, officially announced continuing to close the strait to navigation traffic, a direct Kurdish response to the American and Israeli military strikes. It wasn't limited to angry political statements. Instead, it was translated by the Revolutionary Guard forces on the ground by planting naval mines and targeting commercial ships, like the documented attack on a cargo ship flying the Thai flag, which led to an almost complete paralysis in the movement of the tankers. Major marine insurance companies pushed to raise risk assessments. Thus, the strait transformed from a commercial passage into an open battlefield. The Iranian leadership uses it to strangle the global economy and forcing the international community to comply with its political demands, exiting the Strait of Hormuz into open waters. The clamp expands to include the Gulf of Oman and the Arabian Sea. Here, Tehran relies on a different strategy, according to military analysts. It specializes in shadow warfare and targeting supply lines in international waters. This area, stretching for hundreds of nautical miles, witnessed a series of mysterious attacks targeting commercial ships and tankers. Its pace has noticeably accelerated since 2019. Reports from the U.S. Central Command for the Middle East indicate to use advanced weapons and tactics in these operations, like contact naval mines and suicide drones. One of the most notable documented examples is the targeting of the Mercer Street tanker. In 2021, a drone was confirmed by investigations to be of Iranian manufacture. The operations were not limited to direct military targeting, but also included detentions. International maritime navigation agencies and ship tracking centers have documented this. The Iranian Navy intercepted and seized several giant oil tankers, like the detention of the tanker Advantage Sweet and the tanker St. Nicholas. These repeated movements in the Gulf of Oman, according to maritime security experts, it sends a clear message from Tehran to the capitals of the world. It means that the threat is not limited to the narrow geographic strait. It even extends to affect the open arteries in international waters, what increases the danger zone and raises the complexity of any counter-military operation. Moving south toward the Red Sea and the Bab el-Mandeb Strait, the arms of the maritime clamp are closing across the Yemeni arena. This strategic corridor sees, according to international navigation data, accounting for about 12% of the total volume of global trade, about 30% of the world's container traffic. But the Houthi group radically changed this navigational equation. Since late 2023, it has begun carrying out documented attacks. According to official statements, major global shipping companies were forced to redirect their routes toward the Cape of Good Hope. This route adds about 3,500 nautical miles to the journey. But military analysts emphasize in their assessment of the situation, what happened during that period is nothing more than a small-scale reflection. The full activation of the Bab al-Mandeb card in any major regional war. This means these scenarios are repeating with much greater intensity and complexity. This escalation will inevitably lead to consequences, according to regional security reports, to mobilize key players and stakeholders in the region, with Egypt at the forefront, for which the Suez Canal is considered its most important economic lifeline. The channel's revenues declined by billions of dollars due to these crises, which could compel Cairo and other countries along the Red Sea coast to take strategic steps to protect its national security and economic interests. This way, Tehran demonstrates its ability to shuffle the cards and widen the circle of conflict. The geographic clampdown did not only affect shipping rates, it even extended to strike at the core of the economy, specifically Arab economic security. According to reports from international energy agencies and the World Bank, any actual closure of the Strait of Hormuz would lead to a historic spike in oil prices. The barrel could push past the $150 mark, what enters global markets during a deep stagflation wave. But according to experts, the biggest victims are the Arabs themselves. In the event of a straight war, the Gulf countries and Iraq will be affected, a severe blow to its oil exports, which form the backbone of its national budgets. Moving to the Red Sea, the toll appears even harsher. Official statistics from the Suez Canal Authority in Egypt confirm that the vital channel's revenues declined by nearly 50%, due to ships diverting toward the Cape of Good Hope route. Arab ports along the Red Sea also face challenges. Ports like Aqaba and Jeddah have seen a sharp decline in container traffic. This immediately raises the prices of basic goods for the average Arab citizen. This is confirmed according to the analysis of strategic experts. Despite all the political slogans, Iran's control over the straits remains a strategic weapon. Its deepest economic blow is directed at the budgets of Arab countries. It makes its economic stability hostage to Tehran's ventures, faced with this tight Iranian blockade around the waterways. The Gulf and Arab capitals did not remain idle. Decision-makers recognized the seriousness of this scenario early on. They began constructing a complex network of pipes and land passages. The first of these strategic steps appeared in the United Arab Emirates, through the nearly 400-kilometer Habshan-Fujairah pipeline, which transports 1.5 million barrels of oil daily. It flows directly into the Gulf of Oman, bypassing the Strait of Hormuz entirely. Moving to Saudi Arabia, we find the largest movement ever, through the east-west pipeline known as Petroline, which has a capacity exceeding 5 million barrels per day, to transport oil from the Baqaiq field to the Yanbu port on the Red Sea. But the solutions didn't stop at just oil pipelines. It even included supply chains through the land-based economic corridors, which relies on connecting the ports of Dubai and Dammam with modern transport networks. The lands of Saudi Arabia and Jordan stretch all the way to the ports of the Mediterranean Sea. It is a logistical route that significantly reduces time and completely eliminates the need to pass through the Bab el-Mandeb Strait. As for the major future projects, research centers have resumed proposing the Salman Canal project. These are studies for digging a water canal nearly 1,000 kilometers long. Saudi lands serve as a bridge connecting the waters of the Gulf directly to the Arabian Sea. It bypasses the Strait of Hormuz and completely removes its military influence. But all these backup plans could fail. If the battle is decided, either the regime in Tehran changes its behavior or it falls. But what remains certain up to this moment, Iran aims to strangle the Arab under the pretext of responding to America. Arabs have become compelled to take action. So how will they move?